And she like, yeah, like I told him I would fly out. I'm like, oh. This girl is trying to fly out. She's trying to fly out to go see him. And I'm just looking like, ooh. Listen. What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Janiyah Aaliyah, and I am back with another video. If it's your first time here, thank y'all so much for coming. Thank you for coming. I would offer you a seat, but only my subscribers can sit down. So if you're interested in obtaining a seat, go ahead and click, smack on that subscribe button so we can get into this video. I'll wait for you. Hurry up, we got stuff to do. Okay, great. Alright, so y'all, this story, honestly, it's probably one of the craziest things that have ever went down in my life. Alright, so I'm finna tell y'all this crazy chronicle about the time I went on a Disney cruise. So let's get started. I don't have no notes for this video. I don't got time. It's up here, so y'all just bear with me. So this all starts, it was around I think we went for Thanksgiving. And so yeah, my dad decided, you know, it would be fun for my sister and I and his companion to, you know, go on a Disney cruise or whatever. And so we getting ready to go, and I can't even remember, child, but I got in trouble for something with my mama. I can't even remember what I did. I can't remember, but she took my phone. She took my phone prior to me going on a Disney cruise. And for me, that just meant like, wow, I'm really finna go on this cruise. I can't get no cute bathing suit cruise pictures. Like, I can't get no ocean shots, nothing. I can't take pictures of my food, nothing. And honestly, I feel like the bathing suit pictures was the hardest thing for me, because I love seeing like people taking pictures on a cruise, and I wanted to be a part of that crew. But yeah, so I got my phone taken, and I was just so mad, and I'm still mad to this day, because let me tell y'all what happened. So I got my phone taken, and my sister had an iPad. Honestly, it was actually my dad's iPad, and we were supposed to share, but my sister was so stingy. And so we get on our little cruise, and I think my dad, like, he just saw how sad and just, it's unlikely a word, I don't know, dead I was just without my phone, because my sister all up in here like this, face all up in her phone, and I'm just counting sheep. Yes, I'm counting sheep. And so basically he told my sister, give me the iPad. And so I got the iPad or whatever. So we on a trip or whatever, I'm taking pictures on the iPad, she got her phone. And so we flew to Florida, and from Florida we had to get a ride from the airport to the dock to get on the cruise ship. And y'all, the cruise ship was so beautiful. I'm gonna insert some pictures and stuff, because y'all, it was so beautiful. This was my first cruise, and so we going ahead, we finna get on the boat and stuff. And so I'm just trying to take pictures of everything, but it's so awkward because I got this big old thing, and I'm just like, it was awkward. And so we get in on the cruise or whatever, and once we all on the cruise and we settle in, we go to our little room, and the whole time I'm on the cruise, I'm thinking of Sweet Life on Deck. It wasn't that, like, it just wasn't that. And so we get in our little rooms, and I'm looking at my hair, and I couldn't bring any edge control or anything on this cruise. And so I tried to make the most sustainable hairstyle I could, so I put some cornrows in my head, but I wasn't good at braiding then, so they was just terrible. They was terrible. And so basically we on a cruise, and whole time I don't have no phone. I think I was on the iPad before we was leaving, because we still had Wi-Fi before we had left. And so I'm texting my friends, trying to see who can do my streaks and stuff and everything. Yeah, I had streaks, and so I'm trying to see who can do my streaks and stuff, and I'm taking pictures of my toes, trying to post all the pictures, as many pictures as I can before it's time for me to go. And so finally the ship, we start leaving, and I guess we get far enough to where we lose Wi-Fi, and my sister is freaking out. This girl, I think she was like trying to beg my dad to buy the Wi-Fi on the cruise, and I'm just looking like, sweetie, we're on a cruise, like, go find some friends, go make some friends. And mind y'all, I didn't have no phone, so at this point I had nothing to lose, so it ain't like anybody was gonna be trying to talk to me anyways, because they was, I got a phone. And so she just sitting in the room, she just laying on that bed, I guess trying to freaking find out how she can make some DIY Wi-Fi out the air molecules or something. And so mind y'all, this is a Disney cruise, so like it was kids running around by themselves all over the place. Like it was a very safe cruise. And so I tell my dad, I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm gonna go to the teen club, because they just had all kinds of little clubs, y'all. And the thing was, when we had got on a cruise, they gave us like these ID cards, and so your ID card is kind of I think it was like registered with your name, your age, and like a photo or whatever. So say for example, I had the teen club, and say I don't even remember how old I was, but say I was like 13, right? When I get to the door, I'm gonna swipe my key card or whatever, and it's gonna turn green and let me in because I'm 13. Whereas say my sister was about 9, if she gonna get her card and try to go into the club, it ain't gonna work. Oh nah, baby, that ain't gonna work. And so she couldn't get in. And so of course, like, she's still in the room. I go to the club, you know, and I'm just like, at this point, I'm just ready to make friends. And so I walk in, and I think the first person I met, and I'm gonna change their names, so the first person I met was this girl named Marissa, and she was so nice, y'all. Like, she was just so nice. And so I meet her or whatever, and we're talking, and we was talking. I'm asking her, well, she asked me, she was like, is this your first cruise? And I'm like, yeah, you know, this is my first cruise. Is this your first cruise? And she like,
this is like my 7th.
And so y'all, let me tell y'all, my instant reaction to this was like, she got money. Like, I just look like, your 7th cruise, girl. We had to pull money out the couch for this. Like, what? Okay. And so first few times I'm there, I'm like at the club all day, and me and Marissa, like, we just start walking around together, just finding different stuff to do. And of course I'm following her because, girl, you're from here. And so eventually, like, we make it back to the little club. And so in the club, I'm gonna insert a picture if I have one. And so in the club, it was like little cubbies where you could like kind of lay on a little couch and play the video game. Then it was like Just Dance, and it was a little TV screen with like other games on it. Then it was a little mini kitchen, like a little photo room. It was real cool, y'all. I want to go on another cruise. But yeah, so it was a real cool little setup. And so then some other teens start coming in, and we just all kind of came together. It was like some other black girls, and you already know me, like, I went to go introduce myself. And so the other black girl, her name was, I'm gonna say her name was Erica. And so Erica was very cool. I just felt like me and Erica was very compatible. And Erica, like, she liked to dance or whatever. And so me and Erica, you know, we was bonding. So it's me, Erica, and Marissa at this point. And so then the next person to come in is this girl, and her name is gonna be Leslie. So Leslie come in, and same thing, like, we all just bonding. I think it was just something about us, like, being on the ship, okay? And so we just all hanging out, having a good time. And so there was this boy who was sitting inside one of the little cubbies playing on the game. And so Leslie sees him, and basically, like, Leslie started telling us how she think he cute or whatever. And we all kind of felt the same. Like, we all like, yeah, you know, he cute, but nobody was gonna act on it. So fast forward, we're on the cruise, and basically, I think that day at the club, the little, I don't know what they was called. I guess like the what you call them? I don't know, the team leaders or something, child. I don't know. Basically, the people who was supposed to be watching us, our babysitters, basically. They was letting us know that, like, tomorrow at like 2 o'clock, it's gonna be an excursion in the Bahamas, and we gonna go to Castaway Cay or something, whatever it's called, Castaway Bay, something. And we was supposed to do snorkeling, and so we needed to go, like, if we wanted to go, we needed to sign up and go take this to our parents and get their signatures so we can go. And so basically I'm like, oh yeah, I'm down, like, cause we on a cruise, baby, ain't nothing off limits. And so basically, you know, I go take that to my dad, and I want to do it. At this point, my sister had still been in the room trying to make Wi-Fi. Yeah, she had a kite, and she had a light bulb, and she was hanging it out the balcony, and it was hooked up, it was tied around her phone, it was a rope tied around her phone, and she was waiting on the lightning to strike so she can make Wi-Fi. Because that's how you make Wi-Fi, okay? Yes. And so she was trying to create Wi-Fi out of thin air, and so I come back getting a permission slip. And so of course, when she see, like, oh dang, Janaya got friends, I'm finna go with Janaya. And so that's when I'm like, oh no, baby. They got a preteen club. You want me to drop you off? And so I take this girl to the preteen club, and y'all, she was so mad. And so I took her to the preteen club, and I know what my club look like. I just want to see what hers look like. So I walk in there. I'm like, all right, Maya, I'm gonna drop you off. Okay, come on, let's go. We walk into that club, and immediately I'm laughing because I told y'all we had Just Dance, we had Xboxes, PlayStations, Guitar Hero. Y'all, they had Legos in Connect 4 in the little big old city blocks. And so I couldn't help but get the big old iPad and snap a picture of her face, her reaction when I was trying to drop her off. I'm gonna put that in here. And so basically, this girl didn't even want to go in. She literally would not go in. I'm like, okay, girl, I'm gonna go now. See ya. Cause I'm finna head back to my club, y'all. I'm finna head back to my side of town. And so she didn't want to go in. And so she made me walk her back to the room. And so I think she thought my dad was gonna be in the room, but he wasn't. He was like at the pool or at the bar or something. And honestly, on this cruise they had like a little messaging system or whatever where you could text people like within the cruise, so you can, you know, contact your parents and stuff on the cruise, because the phones and stuff wouldn't work. And so basically we go find him, and my sister's trying to find out how to get into the teen club. And mind you, I don't want her in the teen club because before I even went to the teen club, I was sitting here begging this girl to leave the room and go to the club with me in the first place. And she was trying to be that man, what's his name, Benjamin Franklin? Is that who made electricity? I don't know, don't judge me, I don't know. But yeah, she was trying to be him and make Wi-Fi. And so she wouldn't go. And so I had to get out there by myself and go. And so now you trying to piggyback on my success, on my newly found friendship. Ugh. But yeah, so basically the little camp directors or whatever, they told my dad, like, well, they told me to tell my dad that if my sister wanted to come to the teen club, here go the paperwork for him to basically sign so they can give her the clearance to get into the club. So basically say like, yeah, you can go to the teen club. And so he did that. He didn't really care. And so he did that. And she came to hang out with me and my friends. So fast forward, that meant she also went on a little snorkeling thing with us, right? So, sorry. So we going snorkeling. I go, because I'm ready. My sister was scared, so she stayed back. She just was not feeling this trip at all. It was just no Wi-Fi, no LTE, no 5G, T-Mobile, none. It was none of that, okay? So she was just honestly not feeling it, not for it, not going at all. So I get out there, I go snorkeling, and I guess she see me swimming off bar, you know, doing the dang thing, and she decide, okay, I want to go now. So she tell the other little camp director, okay, take me out there. So this girl get out there. And keep on, we can both swim. We can both swim. And we also had little floaties on. And so she get out there. And this girl, I think she made it about halfway. It was just like, oh, this ain't for me. So then the lady had to swim her back because she was just like, oh no. Meanwhile, I'm down here. I'm looking at fishes. I'm looking at freaking, it was like a little broken boat or something underwater. Because it was kind of like a snorkeling, like scavenger adventure type thing. And so we just kind of had to highlight what we see. So they had like little Mickeys and stuff underwater. It was honestly an adventure, guys. It was an adventure. So we did that. And let me tell y'all something. That was, I don't even know how, but I tasted the water unintentionally. It was not on purpose. And it was the worst water I have ever tasted. When I tell you, it tasted like that water killed every ounce of bacteria in my system. Oh my God, it was stuck in my mouth, y'all. I think I had to go get like a snow cone or something. It was so bad. And of course, y'all, I had snorkel. I'm all underwater, so my cornrows then napped up and everything. I ain't got no gel, nothing. And I know it's not just me. Y'all ladies know when y'all hair start looking bad, y'all start feeling bad. So I'm kind of feeling a little insecure. But then my self-esteem got a little boosted because I looked to my right and Erica, her leave out was messed up. Then Leslie, her hair, her inches, her tracks was like type 1 and the hair was 4C just like mine. So I'm like, oh, okay. Birds of a feather flock together, literally, because child, we was just a hot mess. We were like the Gross sisters. And you know, Melanie, Marissa looked beautiful. Marissa looked beautiful, okay? That was that. She had been here 7 times. She was prepared. She was prepared. And so anyway, so after the whole snorkeling adventure, we got out the water and I think we all had to go on a little bike ride. So y'all, let me tell y'all something. I don't like being controlled. I don't. And so I just did not like how they had the whole day planned out for us. Like, can we do something on our own? Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so we went on this like hour to 2 hour long bike ride around the island. So we riding bikes or whatever, and we was all just like, we was stopping here and there because I guess they had like stuff to show us. Like, it was kind of like a tour, and I'm like, dang, like, ooh, it's hot. Oh my gosh, it's too much. But yeah, so we rode the bikes, and so finally after riding the bikes, then they let us out and we could go explore in the water by ourselves. And so basically, we in the water and we all playing around, splashing water. And so me and Erica and Marissa decide we gonna ask you know, Leslie how she feeling about did I give the boy a name? I'm gonna name the boy Edgar. So we asking, you know, Leslie, you know, so what you think about Edgar? Because he looking at you, girl, he's staring at you. And she like, I don't know, but that's gonna be my cruise boo. And so Erica is looking like,
no, like, that's gonna be my cruise boo.
and I'm just looking like, because I didn't want to say it, but like I was just like, I mean, I thought he was cute too. But y'all gonna see, I wasn't on that. I went, no. And so, oh yeah, I meant to tell y'all, like, it was another boy from my school. He was actually on the he was on a cruise too. I just thought it was weird. I never talked to him at school before, but I was like, oh wow, small world. But yeah, so that's when Leslie decides, you know, she's gonna go walk up to Edgar and let him know that he's her cruise boo. So she let him know, and the rest was history, guys. So basically, for the rest of the cruise, he like, you know, they playing in the water. He picking her up, throwing her in the water. Like, me, Erica, and Marissa just sitting there like, we tight, y'all. We tight. And it's just like, oh, girl. She was just the one to shoot the shot first, girl. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so fast forward, we get back to the cruise. We are back on the boat now, and so we all kind of had to go shower first, and we had us a little group chat on a Disney little messaging app or whatever. And so we was letting each other know what time we was gonna be back at the club. And so I think I made it back first because we ain't had nothing better to do, y'all. We on the cruise, okay? So I think I made it back first. Then Marissa came around, and then Erica came. And so when Erica comes, I think me and Marissa had already been kind of planning how we was gonna do a little blind date for Edgar and Leslie. So what me and Marissa had planned was the Disney cruise had a little movie theater, right? It was like, oh my gosh, that was the first time I saw Coco in that movie theater on the cruise. Like, it was a full-blown like movie theater. Like, it was so crazy. But yeah, and so me and Marissa had planned that I was gonna ask Edgar if he wanted to go to the movies with me and Marissa. Like, we were just gonna go as a group. That's all I was gonna say to him. And then Marissa was gonna ask Leslie if she wanted to come to the movies with me and her. And so basically we was both asking them to come to the movies, but we didn't tell them that each other was gonna be there. And our plan was we were just gonna pop up in the theater, and once both of them got there, we was gonna leave. Child. And so basically we get to the theater and they both arrived, and I think they kind of, you know, caught the plan, because I think Edgar had arrived and instead of sitting by us, he sat somewhere else. And so mind y'all, this entire time my sister does not have a life of her own, so she's living mine. So she's right behind me. And so yeah. And so basically they get into the movie theater, and Edgar is sitting like in a row in front of us. My sister's sitting in a row behind me, Marissa, and Leslie. And so basically me and Marissa kind of egg Leslie to go sit down there next to him. So she goes to sit down there next to him, and at first they just wasn't talking like at all, and they're just sitting there and we just sitting there. And I think the movie, I can't remember what movie was about to play, but me and Marissa ain't want to see no dang movie. So basically we was just sitting there, and we had already been planning on leaving, but then we checked the little Disney messenger thing, and Leslie is texting us saying
leave.
And we just looking like, this girl just told us to leave. So we leave the movie theater. So me and Marissa go. Child, my sister stayed in there, her nosy behind. So basically we leave, and then I think time goes by, because we went back to the club while the movie was on. And so basically my sister ends up coming back into the club, and I'm like, where Leslie? And she's like, oh, I don't know, I watched the whole movie, but they honestly, like, they left like halfway through the movie, like they left together. And I'm like, they left together? What? And so mind you, me and Marissa, we just sitting here like, because all we meant to do was to just set them up on a blind date so like they could talk at the movie, because the like theater, they was empty, like wasn't nobody in there. Everybody else was just out, you know, on the little, because it was like a mini water park on the cruise. And so we like, they left, where did they go, like what the heck? And so I think we had like got up and walked around the boat a little bit to see if, you know, maybe we saw them playing freaking, I don't know, bowling or something, and we didn't. So we get back to the club, and once we get back, Erica's there, and so we catching Erica up on what's going on. We just all sitting on the couch, and we kind of start texting Leslie or something, and she just was not responding at all. And so we're like, oh Lord, what did we do? Like, what is going on? And so I think finally Leslie responds, and she said something like, I'm coming back or something. And I'm just like, okay. And y'all, Leslie comes back, and I kid you not, I don't even know how to explain. There was just, she had residue like right here, okay, like kind of like right here in this area, like by her sideburns, where there was residue, like kind of like a whitish residue on her face. This is very much PG-13, and I don't even know. And so basically, mind y'all, I am a child of God. I do not engage in this type of tomfoolery. So this is honestly very much beyond me. I don't even know what I'm witnessing. And so immediately, like when she walks in, I see her, you know, hair still messed up. And so I'm just like, you got something right here. And walking in, they were like sanitizer wipes or whatever that we could use for our hands. And so she grabs one, wipes her face, and she's just like, oh. And also, like she kind of had like her eye was kind of like red, pinkish, just one eye. And so I'm like, girl, was you crying? She like,
No.
and so I'm just looking like, it's not registering in my mind. It's not registering. And then something clicked, and so I'm like, oh my God. And so she just bust out laughing. So she comes into the club, and so I think that's when it clicked in Marissa and Erica's minds too, what was going on. And of course my sister's still out the blue, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we are poisoning my sister. Like, what is going on? Like, this girl should just stay in the preteen club. Like, oh my God, I'm a terrible sister. Like, oh my gosh, we gonna be on Teen Mom. Oh, okay, sorry. But yes, and so she walked into the club, and mind you, we all met her at the door, y'all. We was waiting on her at the door, like. And so she walked into the club, and the camp director is like, hey Leslie, welcome back. What's wrong with your eye? Did you hit yourself in the eye? She's like, yeah, hit myself in the eye. And we literally bust out laughing. And he's like, okay. And so she come in, sit down, and she start telling us all about it. And so she's telling us, and we just a whole bunch of like young adults, child. We don't do this in real life. This Disney cruise, this is not real life. This is a dream. This is a dream, okay? Ugh. And so she tell us, you know, what happened. And we are all literally shocked because we just a whole bunch of regular kids, y'all. Like, I'm just like, what are the odds? And so she basically, you know, tell us like it was her first time. She had fun. And yeah, I'm not gonna get into all the details because yeah. But so she basically, you know, tell us like, yeah, that was her first time and whatever. And so next thing you know, she just starts going on a rant about how now, like, since it was her first time, like, she just feels so different, like she feel like a whole new person and blah blah blah. And we all just sitting there like, because we don't know nothing about that, so we just sitting there like, oh. Like, it's honestly just foreign to us. And so basically she just goes into a trance. She's just sitting there at this point, like she just, I don't know, it just seemed like she was in like a Moment for Life, like she was in a Moment for Life music video or something, because she was just gone. Or matter of fact, I don't even know, pills and potions, something, child. She was just not there anymore. She was not on the cruise, like physically, mentally, she was just not on the cruise ship no more. And so fast forward, of course we wanted to hit the other side, y'all, because it was just, oh my gosh, this cruise was the funniest time of my life, y'all. And so we wanted to hit the other side, so we're all texting Edgar like, hey, come back to the club, come back to the club. Edgar like, where you at? And so he was just basically saying, you know, how he was with his family. And so he ended up making his way back to the club. And so Edgar, his entire family had been there. I think that was like a family trip or whatever. But yeah, so Edgar make his way back to the club, and you know, we say hey to him or whatever, and he goes straight to the cubby and start playing the game. And so of course at this point, Leslie's sitting on the couch with us, Edgar's in there playing the game. And I guess Leslie was just thinking like, you know, it was gonna be different, like they was gonna be in a full cruise, you know, they was gonna be in a cruise relationship, cruise kryptonite, something, child. I don't know. But at this point, Leslie is like heartbroken, and so she goes sit in a little video game cubby, and for a little bit she was just crying. And so we go to her, I'm like, Leslie, like, why are you crying? She was like, I don't know, like, I just feel like a different person, like, I don't even know, then he's not talking to me and blah blah blah. And of course I'm already like, I'm just naturally a mediator, so I'm like, this is what we not gonna do. Like, you is not finna get on this cruise and just think you the man and sit here and smash it past this girl. Like, you're not finna just ghost this girl, not her. Like, Leslie is a nice, beautiful black woman. She is a queen. Like, you ain't finna do this to her. So, you know me, I'm just... And so, basically, he ends up gonna talk to her, and they talk or whatever, and they made up, all right? They made up. And so, that's when... I think we all had like love or whatever, because we had to go to dinner, because on the Disney cruise they kind of had like nice little tourist restaurants or whatever. Like they had like a Beauty and the Beast restaurant, which was really nice. And y'all, I did not know what escargot was, but it sounded good, so I ordered it. And when it came to my table and it was snail, I almost threw up. I said oh, my daddy was like, eat it, girl, eat it. I'm like, no, send it back, no. So that was my adventure with escargot. Never again. I didn't even I think I ate macaroons that night, because I was not gonna do that to Gary. I was just not gonna do that to Gary. And so yeah, it was really nice. And so they also had like a Finding Nemo restaurant where they literally had like, what's the turtle from Finding Nemo name? The turtle from Finding Nemo was like swimming around little, like they had different monitors all around the restaurant, and he would swim around the monitor and stop at each table and like say something to you, like, and it would look like he's really looking at you, and it would just be so funny, y'all. It was just very much entertaining. And then and like sometimes at night they also had like a little Family Feud like game show type thing, and so that was really fun. Like they just had so many activities. I 100% recommend this cruise, y'all. It ain't gonna be like mine, but it's gonna get close. It's gonna get close. But yeah, and so that's when we all met back up at the club, y'all. And tell me why it happened again. So apparently there was a part 2. There was a second link up that happened somewhere in between the time that we left the club and the time we came back to the club. So there was a part 2, and that was just that was that child. And so basically, you know, we all just sitting there or whatever, and at this point, like, we all just, you know, talking and stuff. And so I think like we would like leave and find other stuff to do, because they had like a basketball court, they had little jacuzzis, heated pools and stuff. And one time me and Marissa had went to go sit in the little jacuzzi, and this old man gonna come in there and sit with us, and it was just so awkward. I was so, oh, R. Kelly, get away, go, what's wrong with you? So of course we got out, like we got out, because we was just like, that's awkward, because you know jacuzzis be so awkward because they're so small, and it's basically like y'all all just sit in the bathtub together. So yeah, we got out of the jacuzzi and we went somewhere else. And so then they also had like a little basketball court. Child, I ain't had no tennis shoes on the cruise, so I messed my nice little toe polish up, but I was shooting. Y'all know I'm a hooper. But yeah, so fast forward, I think it was like the last day on the cruise, and there were other kids on the cruise, but these was just the kids I hung out with. And so on the last day on the cruise, they kind of did like a little cruise homecoming / prom type thing. And so we had to we had to nominate like cruise king and queen. And so of course, you know me, I nominated Leslie and Edgar, and so our whole little group, they did that. But apparently there was this other kid on the cruise who in those 3 to 5 days had about 4 different cruise girlfriends. Now, was they on the level that this occurrence was? Maybe not, but he had at least 4 like different cruise girlfriends. And so he ended up winning cruise king, and one of his girlfriends won the cruise queen. And apparently all the other kids had a lot to say about that, because he had about 4 girlfriends on that cruise, and so it was a few hearts that got broken that night. But yeah, and so we ended up like, we started playing trivia and whatnot, and so of course we all had like just an amazing time on that cruise. So we sent our like Instagrams and our kicks and stuff, we put those in the little Disney Messenger, and then screenshotted it, so that way we have them when we get home and we can add each other. And yeah, and so fast forward, I keep saying fast forward, I'm always fast and forward, but anyway, so fast forward, we still on the cruise, and at this point Leslie once again is in a trance. This girl is just sad, and I'm like, okay girl, are you upset? Are you sad? Come in, let me give you a hug, cause you act like nobody show you love. And so I start talking to her, and she basically goes on a rant about how she just feel like because she live in Wisconsin and he live in Atlanta, that they never gonna see each other again after the cruise, and he was her first time and she gonna miss him. And yeah, and I'm like, so you want to be together? And she like, yeah, like I told him I would fly out. I'm like, oh. This girl is trying to fly out. She's trying to fly out to go see him. And I'm just looking like, ooh. Listen, I have never been in your position before, but even I know it don't work like that. It don't work like that. It just don't work like that. And so of course, this man, he started telling her just whatever, basically whatever she wanted to hear. He just started saying whatever he thinks she wanted to hear. So he done told her like, yeah, you know, they gonna keep in touch, they gonna do whatever. And yeah, and so fast forward, we get off the cruise, and I added just about everybody, like, I added just about everybody, and of course my sister by default, because she was just in the group by default, added everybody on Snapchat and Instagram. And so basically, I think Leslie like reached out to me and texted me whatever and was like, hey, have you heard from Edgar? And I'm like, yeah, I just talked to him the other day. And she was like, oh, that's crazy because he blocked me. And I'm like, oh, he blocked you. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. And so that's when, of course, you know, I'm texting Edgar because actually me and Edgar, like, we probably stayed about 30 minutes apart. And so that next week, like, once we had got off the cruise, my school played his school in basketball. So I had saw him again like that next week, and I was like, oh, there go Edgar, hi, what's up? And so basically, you know, I'm texting him, you know, asking why he blocked her, and he was basically just like, oh, she was doing too much, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, ooh, child, this is too much. So about a week goes by, and Edgar, this man Edgar, is posting on Snapchat a video of him and a woman alleged to be his girlfriend, allegedly, and this man talking about some 2 years. I don't even know. And so I'm just sitting here like, I swear I had to swipe up because y'all know I am an activist. I do not condone womanizers. And so I'm just sitting here like, y'all ain't been dating for 2 years. He like, shh, yes we have. And I'm just looking like, oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Take it, please. Please take the wheel, Jesus. Because at that point, I was just looking like, so this man then got on a cruise. And I know I said it ain't real life, it's just a dream. But this man really got on a cruise and acted like it was a dream, and then tried to get back in the real world and post his girlfriend talking about some 2 years. Boy. But anyways, that's about it for how my Disney cruise went, y'all. Honestly, overall, that cruise, that first cruise experience, honestly, I don't think anything can top that cruise experience, because that it was just honestly crazy. It was just honestly beyond me, and it was hilarious. It was a hilarious experience personally, y'all. It was just a lot. But anyways, if y'all love my story times, y'all want to see more of my story times, make sure y'all go tune my story time playlist on my YouTube channel, and of course hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see y'all on my next video.